helping you find your new way forward to the best years of your life. This is a New Way Forward podcast with your host, Paul Long.
I am going to share with you the number one absolutely must first step you have to take if you're wanting to change your life. If you're wanting to pivot, transform, all of it or a part of it, whether out of crisis and things have changed and now what do I do? Or you're at a crossroads, or you're just dissatisfied with your life and you feel like you have something more. This is the first step. Without this first step, it's like what you need and want and what's ideal for you is over there. And by the way, that's there for all of us. There is an ideal life that fits your needs, wants, and desires and capabilities. It's there. But if you don't do this, you start going over there, or you don't even know what direction to go into. And you do this step and you'll be better than 99.9% of the people who think, I really need to change my life. I really think I deserve something better. But in the first place, a lot of people don't even do it. And if they do it, they do really simple things and obvious things. They don't get the awareness and the knowledge and the appreciation that they need to have in order to make the right choice or to even discover what is right for them. When I applied this 15 years ago to find my new way forward, it made all the difference in the world. It was the proper starting point that gave me the context, the awareness, the knowledge, the hopes and desires that were right for me that I needed to fulfill. And if I hadn't have done this, if I had used the same thinking that got me in that situation in the first place, I would have been screwed. I wouldn't be sitting here right now and having and enjoying the life that is ideal for me. It's a very simple quote that started it all for me. But when you really look at it and when you really apply it, it gives you the foundational awareness and knowledge and hopes and desires that you've got to have. And as a bonus, it actually elevates your appreciation for yourself and for life in general. But the thing of it is most people don't do this. And many years ago, I didn't do it when I was looking to get out of television news because it was becoming crap like back then. I thought it was bad back then. It's even worse now. And all I did is I just thought, well, what do I want to do? What am I good at? What am I not good at? What do I like? What do I not like? And by the way, that's a fine thing to do. But I was just doing it in this very narrow context. I wasn't good enough. And so I made a choice of something that I could succeed at because I didn't make the effort to go deeper and broader in terms of my whole life and all aspects of it. And so I did find something that I succeeded at. But I realized years into it, I never should have done it. It wasn't right for me. It didn't fulfill the needs and wants and desires of my entire life. It was just something I could succeed at. And I'm grateful for it in many ways. I got to do some cool stuff, put food on the table and stuff. But I did it wrong. And so jump ahead to like around 2010 when I'm like, I got to find something different than this. I've got to change my life. I'm heading into my olderhood. What the heck am I going to do? Somehow, fortunately, this quote came up in my head. And it kept coming up in my head. My subconscious was like, hey, Paul, wake up. You need to do this. Don't go down the same path that led you to something less than desirable. So here's the quote. And it comes from Max Planck, who was a physicist in the early 20th century, Nobel Prize winner. He came up with quantum theory. He was in Einstein's brain trust group. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Great quote. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Paul. Okay, so now let's really think about that. If your life needs to change, you're not satisfied with it. And yet you think, okay, well, what am I going to do now? And you're using the same mindset, the same thinking, the same rote thinking, the same reactions, the same perceptions How the hell are you going to figure out a new way forward that's ideal for you? My definition of new way forward, and finding your new way forward, is that it is to the life that in all parts of your life, your relationships, your career, money, health, happiness, fulfillment, purpose, relevance, relationships, self growth, everything. It's right for you and only you. You're not living the default life anymore, if you were, of just what you were supposed to do. So when you start examining your life and yourself and the way it is with the intention that I'm going to change the way that I look at things, what you're really doing is just finding the new reality, the new you, which is the true you. And that's what I started doing in around 2010. Is first of all, I was looking at myself. I needed to change the way that I looked at myself. And I started noticing, man, you don't give yourself credit for anything. You you pull off this great stuff, or you've got a family that loves you, and they've got reasons why they do, besides just me being here and all of that other kind of stuff. And so I started changing the way that I looked at myself. I started giving myself more credit. I started accepting what I was good at, how I was contributing, all of those different things, which got me connected to that. So, when you do that list of what am I good at and what am I not good at, that wouldn't have been on my list. Now it's on my list. And that's important to be aware of when I'm trying to figure out my way forward, right? And then the same thing with what I needed and wanted in life. Now, here's another really big thing about it. My life was a hell of a lot different than it was when I left news. So you have to take that into account. My kids weren't little anymore. They were heading into college. And of course, now they're on to their own lives and, with companions and kids coming and their own careers and things of that sort. So I needed to look at my life differently. And I had to change the way I looked at things, taking into account the fact that I'm getting older. What's that all about? I had to change the way I looked at getting old or retirement. And sure enough, I'm like, oh my gosh, traditional retirement is really sucking for a lot of people because after a year or two of, retirement bliss, all of a sudden they've lost their relevance and purpose and fulfillment and self-identity. That changed the way I looked at it because I looked into it. I made the effort to do it. And I'm like, well, that sucks. I don't want that. And then I said, well, what are other people doing? Or I thought, what are other people doing? And a lot of people, out of necessity or desire, were redesigning their lives. Holy crap. I like that. That's what I need to do. I'm changing the way I looked at all the assumptions and presumptions and stereotypes of being an older person. That it's not this, I discovered that it's not like, well, I'm 65 and I'm going to be in decline and, I'm going to play golf and I'm not going to mean much to anybody anymore. I'm like, no, there are other people who are saying no to that. They changed the way that they looked at things, and the things that they looked at changed. And they said, I'm going to do more than that. And here was the really, really big thing. And that is that I discovered the new reality of longevity, the longevity revolution, the longevity renaissance, that when you live with purpose and fulfillment, a reason to get out of bed in the morning, that all motivates you to be healthy and fulfilled and purposeful, that people are living healthy and active and relevant and purposeful into their 90s, that this is the new reality. It's a renaissance. I think I'll take that. But it still came down to, but what's my exact path? Well, going back again to this fundamental step, you can see how all of a sudden the things I looked at changed. about me. And by the way, it made me feel better about myself. It made me happier. And then when I saw what the possibilities were for me, that got me excited. And that became the most souped up, natural motivation to not only keep going and trying to figure out what I needed and wanted in life, but to apply it and go after it. Because, yeah, sometimes it is challenging, sometimes it's hard to do that. But of course, it's a lot harder to not do that. Okay, so how can you apply this? How can you change the way that you look at things so the things that you look at change in ways that help you identify, pursue, and succeed in the new way forward that's right for you? So first of all, you're already doing it by watching this video. You've become aware of this. And the second thing is that commit yourself to, for the next week, taking at least 15 minutes, 15 frigging minutes, 3 times a day, at least twice. Man, I'm letting you off the hook here. But if you're super busy, I can't do 3. Okay, then do 2. First thing in the morning, get up 15 minutes early. And then 15 minutes before you go to bed. And in a quiet place, no electronics, no music, tell people to leave you alone. Minimum of 15 minutes, ideally 30. And by the way, I think eventually you're going to want to go 30, or you're going to go, oh my gosh, it's been 45 minutes. And actually start looking at the different parts of you and your life. And actually really just looking at them. What is it about me here? What is it that I don't like about my current life and why? Or this part of my life. And then even contemplating, well, what would be ideal for me? Now, I have 2 tools for you in this regard. Number one, in that last question that I had, what would be ideal? I somehow came up with the idea very early on after I was changing the way I looked at things. We're thinking, how do I want to feel every morning in my new way forward when I wake up? How do I want to feel about my existence, my life? And I'm going to go super, super fundamental. So number one was like, I woke up. That's fundamental but necessary. But then I came up with these other things. I feel great. I'm excited about my life. I'm not worried about my blah, 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 blah. I came up with my basic list that also became a foundation. And also when new ideas came to my mind, and it's like, well, it won't achieve these 2. Well, then that's out. Ooh, here's one that works for all of them. Here's another one that does. Great. So it's foundational. But the other thing that I find is a really great tool, and in the description section or below the video Substack is a free PDF that you can download, or you can leave a contribution to fund this effort. But anyway, and it's my take on the wheel of life. So the wheel of life is a circle. It's got, like typically 8 pizza slices in them, and each one represents a key part of your life. And, you can go online and find others. They're all different. Or you can change some of the topics yourself. Doesn't matter. It's what's right for you. But it's, health and career and relationships and self-growth and family and fun and recreation. And you can, in these 10 concentric circles, usually most people use it for an inventory in life. Go ahead and do that inventory. Where are you with fun and excitement? I was at 4. And then you say, okay, I want it to be a 10. Well, here's the important next step. Okay, what does that look like? What does that 10 in fun and recreation or in relationships or in money or whatever, what does that look like? You're actually thinking this through. You're actually identifying what it is that you want. It may not be, well, therefore I'm going to do this. That's the next step. But it's like you're looking at your whole life. If I just looked at a life wheel back when I left news, I would have made a better decision and choice and chosen a better path. Just being aware of it. But when you say, what does that look like? Now, what are you doing? You're changing the way that you looked at things, even if it's just actually identifying them for the first time. And then you can also start to determine, how do I get there? And the third thing is I want you to look at, what is great about you? What's exceptional? What's good about the kind of person that you are, the way that you are, your heart, your mind, your skills, your talents, or whatever. And I want you to be like an egoist, almost like a narcissist about it. Write a list, put it in a book. Don't have to show it to anybody, but I challenge you to actually identify the really great things about yourself. Just identify them. And then secondly, I want you to identify any false or self-limiting beliefs that you have about yourself. Number one's the imposter syndrome, or I'm not good enough, or whatever it may be, which typically came from our parents in childhood, although it can happen later in life. And it's a false belief. It's them, not you. Who are you really? I had to fight that. I had a very limiting belief because of my situation growing up. I had two loving parents. But this belief held me back. And I'm still fighting it. But now that I know that it exists, I know to work past it. I'm changing the way that I looked at myself. And you have to give yourself credit, and you have to appreciate the skills, the talents, the abilities, the experience that you have, the heart that you have, in order to not only identify that right way forward for you, but to succeed at it. And I tell you, that can be transformative. You start those things, and I want to tell you, you will be ahead of 99% of the people on earth who have ever thought, I need to change my life, I need to figure it out. You'll be 99% ahead. You will have the foundation, the awareness to know what direction to go into. You will have the motivation because it's exciting, and you start seeing the possibilities, and you start wanting to go after it. The self-motivation to do everything that you need to do. Like, my health vastly improved when I started doing this stuff because I realized I needed to be healthy to not only pursue it, but enjoy it. And now I'm a really healthy guy. Side benefit, but a critical one. And it will give you the confidence that there is, and there is for all of us, a new way forward that is ideal for us. It has to be, though, pursued by a first step of changing the way that you look at things, so that things you look at change for the better and in a way that is ideal for you and only you.
Learn more ways to enhance your life and discover a new way forward that's perfect for you by watching these videos or any others on my channel. Oh, and be sure to subscribe.